So a few years ago, back in the, I think it was probably the early 90s, before the big coffee craze had made its way across the country, before there was a Starbucks on every corner and in every shopping center. The Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon, and on up through into Seattle, they had a coffee scene going on up there before anybody did. I think that's probably where most of it started from. Anyway, I was in Portland, Oregon. I was in the auto transport business, and I was at a brand spanking new Cadillac dealership. They just built it, state of the art at the time, and I mean, it was pretty fancy. And I went in there to pick up a car, and they had lost the keys to it, so I'm having to hang out in the reception area while they made keys for it. And as I'm in this nice new fancy reception area, I see a machine sitting over there, and I'm looking at it, and a little receptionist gal that was there said, would you like some of that? And I said, well, what is that? She said, well, that's espresso. Well, I said, well, what in the world is espresso? And she said, well, it's like strong coffee. Well, I'm a truck driver. I like strong coffee. She goes, well, help yourself. It's free. I said, well, thank you. So I go over there to the machine, and I look, and they got these little bitty cups sitting there. And I'm thinking, man, if they didn't want me to have none, why'd they offer, So I said, I'll be right back. So I go out to the truck, and I got my 44-ounce trucker mug. I go back in. The little gal never said a word to me. I put the cup up underneath the machine. I pushed the button, and it went to grinding and making noises, and it put about that much out in the bottom of my cup. I thought, well, this darn thing's brand new, and it's already broke, So I pushed it again, and it put about that much more. So I kept pushing it till I had 44 ounces of espresso. And I took a sip, and I said, whew, man, that tastes bad. So I look around, they got cream and sugar, and I poured the cream and the sugar in there, and I'd take a drink, pour a little more, and take a drink. And finally got it where I could stomach it. And little gal never said a word. And I sat there and drank 44 ounces of espresso. Now let me tell you something. When I left there, I had to sit on my hands to keep from waving at everybody. I had hair back in them days, and it was all standing straight up in the air. Oh man, I was wound up tight. And I tell you, it took me a while before I wanted to try espresso again. But that's an honest to God true story, and people have been wanting me to videotape it and put it out there for a long time. So there it is. There's the espresso story. Thank you.